One hero at the heart of many Paragon players is Sparrow. Her concept is really, really cool, and she was really effective a lot of the time throughout Paragon's history. In this rework idea, not really changing too much, as I think, honestly, she's a pretty well-designed hero. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a hero rework idea video. I am Sylphin. So, a few things right off the bat. One, this in no way represents what Unleashed Games is going to do. It is just my personal idea, and that is all. Just my idea. Two, hero passives are coming back, so we have to extract that passive out of their kit, or come up with one that really seems to fit them really well. Three, I like the idea of what I'm calling Paragon mechanic, where if you do something, if you use an ability, or just do something that really accentuates the hero's purpose, the hero's identity, well, if you do that well, you are rewarded throughout the course of a match, a singular match. That's it, not forever on your account, just in that match, individual match. So I'm trying to come up with one of those mechanics for one of their abilities. Three, or four, I forget which one I'm on. I believe that hero design has to be based around a strong draft lobby reason, a strong niche theme, hero identity, because if you don't have that, then there's no reason to pick that hero, to play that hero over others, other than their aesthetics and stuff like that. There has to be a strong reason for you to pick heroes in the draft lobby and go, aha! I need Sparrow in this game, in this match, for this reason. And that has to exist in order to have a healthy, healthy game, healthy heroes, healthy gameplay dynamic. So, what is that niche theme for Sparrow? It's pretty simple. She is a team fight hyper ADC. Has a heavy basic attack focus. Heavy basic attack and aim focus. That's her. Team fight because of her ultimate and monster damage. And she's a hyper ADC, meaning she deals even more damage than your typical carry. And she comes online after your average carry. So normal carries, they deal really good amounts of damage. In the late game, Sparrow deals insane amounts of damage in the very late game. That's what a hyper carry means. And all carries, they basically synergize mostly out of economy, over the items that you pick, not necessarily about hero levels. So that's her niche and theme. What's her passive? It was really easy. It's called Relentless. Successive hits on the same hero within 5 seconds deals bonus damage. That's it. Stacks up to 5 times and is triggered by any damage Sparrow causes. It's real simple. She is the basic attack carry. If all you want to care about is hitting your basic attacks, pick Sparrow. Because you'll be, if you have monster aim, Sparrow's the carry for you. That is her theme. She hits you and hits you with her basic attack, and that's a bit. She's unfortunately maybe a bit simple that way, but boy, if you want monster numbers and if you really want to care about your basic attacks, then she is the carry for you. Now, I put her quest on her basic attack because when I was talking to stream, everybody, I was like, what is Sparrow's deal? What's her thing? What is her core gameplay? And it's just her basic attack. It's just her basic attack. So, with that, after reaching 4 stacks, 4 or more, 4 or 5, after reaching 4 stacks in enemy heroes, 15 times, probably have to increase that to something like 20. In the late game, after reaching 4 stacks on enemy heroes, and by the time the late game happens, gain 15% attack speed, period. She really scales well with attack speed because of her passive on successive hits. You want more successive hits faster to get more damage. She scales really well with attack speed. I know that it is just a number. This quest is just a number. But carries are kind of boring like that. They're all about numbers. And for Sparrow, the most compelling thing about her is her basic attack. So really, I'm just making her more basic attack. And you know what? It's as simple as that. Really. Not the most complicated hero on the planet. She doesn't need to be. There you go. More attack speed means more passive, more damage. There you go. That's what she's all about, baby. Now, Hail of Arrows absolutely needs a rework, and here it is. Hail of Arrows. Sparrow summons a hail of arrows that attacks all targets within a cone in front of her over 4 seconds based around her point of aim. So if I'm aiming straight at you, she would have a cone of arrows that comes out like this in a, I'm not sure the angles and what angle the cone would be, but it would be a cone around her point of aim if I'm aiming straight at you. That would mean that Hail of Arrows is still bound to your aim. You still have to aim the ability. You just have a little bit more leeway as it's a bit more of an AoE, as it's a cone going out. You still have to aim with the ability, and it pierces all those targets in that area, stacking up your passive. Enemies damaged by Hail of Arrows gain 1 Relentless stack every 0.5 seconds, or 2 Relentless stacks per second. Whatever it used to be, I thought that sounded reasonable. 10-second cooldown. So you have to aim with it. You have to aim with it, and it's way more consistent in team fights or just in general. Way more consistent. It's an action, and it works with wave clear, stuff like that. Way more consistent, way more intended for maybe what, you know, what the purpose was for. Love it. Hunter's Mark is her new ability because her Relentless ability was her E, so we have a spot. And I wanted to emphasize again her basic attack nature, attacking a single target, and it's not too original. I will give you that. It's called Hunter's Mark. Yeah. Sparrow empowers her next basic attack to mark an enemy. So it empowers your next basic attack to mark an enemy. If you miss it, you miss it. If you hit the enemy, they're marked with Hunter's Mark, causing them to trigger double Relentless stacks for 5 seconds on successive basic attacks. 14, 13, 12, 11 seconds. Basically, you can proc Hunter's Mark, and through Hail of Arrows, boom, you have pretty much maximum Relentless stacks almost instantly. Or if you've used Hail of Arrows already and on one target and you've killed them and Hunter's Mark comes up, you can Hunter's Mark, hit a target, and boom, each attack is 2, 4, 5, boom, you are at maximum stacks pretty much instantaneously, something like that. The stacks, I think they actually need to go up to 10 times, maybe 8 times, 7 times, something like that, the stacks, and just tweak the bonus damage numbers to equate to equal about 40%. So that can be reworked. I would like to see a little bit more stacks than just 5, but you guys get the point. Maybe 6, maybe even 8. Maybe that sounds a little bit more appropriate. But there's Hunter's Mark, focused around the basic attacks. I thought of making it just a, you hit it and all basic attacks just get double, all instances of damage get double. But then I was like, that's really boring. You just press a button and you get more of your passive. That's really boring. This, you have to hit your basic attack on one hero, and there you go. So it's skill-based. You gotta hit that basic attack. There you go. Kind of an intriguing ability a little bit for a hero. It's pretty simple. Piercing Shot, it's the same thing. Over 1 second, Sparrow charges a powerful basic attack. I thought of making a basic attack that deals additional basic attack damage to all enemies in a line up to 2,500 units away, travels through enemies, terrain, maximum damage at full charge, and it cannot crit. It cannot crit. I think that'd be a little bit crazy, but it just deals a bonus basic attack damage. Maybe it should crit as you'd very much like to build attack speed, even if you gain that 15% attack speed. But probably shouldn't crit. 8-second cooldown. Sparrow's 50% movement speed while charging. It's basically the same thing. It just scales off her basic attack instead of ability damage. Inner Fire, it's her ultimate, and it's literally the same thing. Every basic attack fires a triangle of 3 piercing arrows for the next 4, 6, 8 seconds. Side arrows deal 50, 58, 66% basic damage, 70-second cooldown, and procs her passive on those targets that she hits with successive attacks. There you guys go. It's Sparrow. She's fortunately, unfortunately, relatively simple. However, this adds a little flavor to it. Hail of arrows, you have to aim with it a bit. Whereas before, it was just wildly inconsistent and would rarely really synergize well with, you know, just with doing things, period. Hunter's Mark, it's a skill-based. You empower your basic, and you have to land it, and then it empowers your passive. Maybe that increases damage dealt to that target for the 5 seconds. I'm not sure. Maybe that would be needed. That sounds monstrously strong and an already high damage carry, but that definitely could happen. Piercing Shot and Inner Fire, wonderful abilities that don't need to be changed, in my opinion. There you guys go. What do you guys think about Sparrow? She's a beast. She was one of my favorite carries to play. If you had a team, if you had a team that could combo and peel for her and protect her, boy was she monstrous. So, not need to change too much. She's a wonderful, wonderful carry to play. Please like the video, like it, dislike it, share it, the community. Of course, guys, subscribe. You guys want more content? There's lots more coming. So hit that sub button and the bell notification. Because you got to do that nowadays, apparently. Yeah, people aren't notified of anything anymore, apparently. And of course, guys, like always, stay optimistic and positive.